Yeah, I think we're live. So
Nice.
thanks everyone for joining on the Tales from South Provo podcast. Ben's been on here before, but Jamie, Jenny, your first time.
I'm honored to
Also,
be here.
should we talk
And
about how both your cameras are way better than me and Tim's? What's going on?
I'm on my
I'm on
phone.
my yeah, I'm on my phone.
I got an old MacBook. What about you, Ben?
I got a new MacBook, but
Hmm.
apparently it blows.
I think it's honestly just the lighting in your room.
Yeah.
That's actually probably true.
Should we talk about the alien sound in the background?
I can't hear anything.
It's
Yeah, I
It
don't
Ben's
hear any
stopped.
aliens.
it's Ben's 3D printer.
It stopped.
What
It
is
stopped.
Uh,
switching?
It's over.
It stopped.
Yeah.
Well, it's on repeat in my ears then. I can still hear it.
Really? And maybe the fan's on. I'll turn it on.
Oh, I don't care. It's probably just like you get a song stuck in your head. I think Ben's 3D printer is stuck in my head
Nice.
'cause it's been going nonstop for the last 3 days.
Oh, what's he making?
All kinds of sweet stuff. Hey, Joe's joining us.
Joe, welcome.
What's up?
Here's something that Ben made me, this little fish.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I like it.
It's being recorded, Joe, just so you know.
I'm gonna hang this
So
up in my car for my
You're saying I
dashboard.
can't say stuff about the president?
just saying, keep it PG, you know? Yeah, it'll get taken down from YouTube, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is going to YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You can say whatever you
Dang,
want.
man.
Just know that it'll be held against you at some point.
Nice.
When you marry into the royal family.
Do you guys have like a trip YouTube or something?
Kind of. Just a story, funny story YouTube.
It's
So
Tim's.
let's kick it off. Let's talk about we went to Catalina Island a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And let's hear Ben and Joe tell us their side because they got there first.
All right. You want me to start, Joe, or do you want to start? I can't hear you. I don't know why.
He's muted. I think you should just start.
Joe
Okay.
muted himself.
Nice. So Joe and I bought our tickets later than everyone, so we flew separate. And so we showed up a day and a half earlier than everyone else. And true to my traveling style, I didn't know anything that was going on. I had no idea. I didn't know where the Airbnb was. I didn't know where it was in relation to LAX. So I think maybe it's the night before, a couple days before. I was like, okay, probably should figure out how I'm actually going to get to the Airbnb. So I figured out that we decided we're just gonna Uber instead of renting a car. So we Uber to our place. We show up. I didn't know anything about it, but turns out we were in our Airbnb is like right next to Little Saigon, which was amazing. It's one of the greatest experiences. As Tim knows, I just love going to like the Chinatowns and the Koreatowns. It's like one of my favorite things to do because you like show up in a big city in America and you don't feel like you're in America anymore, and it's amazing. So we showed up and I was super stoked. We had our Uber driver drop us off in the what's it called, Asian Mall, and so we just started walking around there. We're the only white people. It was awesome, and um, yeah, just an all around great experience. But key points that are important to bring up is at one point we started to walk into dinner. No, we were going shopping. We were gonna get some food from the Asian like market. So we were walking to the Asian market, and there was this bum on the side of the road who was probably our age. He wasn't like that old, but you could tell something was a little off, a little crazy. And as we are walking on our way out, he just asked if we have any weed for him, which we, of course, did not. Weed or money, which who carries cash these days, you know? So we didn't have anything for him. Go past him, go shopping, get our stuff. We get some bean ice cream, which we need to make a note here. We had some red bean ice cream, which was Jamie loved it.
Wait, it was red bean mochi, like mochi ice cream.
Yeah,
They were.
yeah.
It wasn't like I thought when you described it. I was going to be eating out of a tub of ice cream. The balls
Fair,
make it a lot better.
fair. Okay, fair. But so we ended up buying a bunch of stuff that I wanted to try, a bunch of things I never tasted before, drinks and stuff. We bought this drink that had like a root in it. Did you guys see that? Did you notice that on the counter? We drank it before you came. It was like,
Well, you guys were blowing up our text messages
yeah,
with all
I
of
was,
your beverages, man.
yeah, I was so
That's one
stoked.
thing about
Okay,
Ben on trips. Ben goes for the bevies.
oh yeah, I got to try the new stuff out. I just enjoy it. Sorry, I'll cut to the chase here. Basically, the thing of note is, as we're walking back with our bag of food, this, this like the path where that bum was at, he wasn't there anymore. So he just kept walking because we were talking about maybe crossing the road because you could see there's a crazy look in his eye, but he wasn't there. So like, oh, let's just walk here. We keep walking, and dude, out of nowhere, the man comes a full on sprint. Like, honestly, I didn't even see where he came from. He came full on sprint at us, and just started like asking us for food, money, and weed and stuff. And like, we were just like, sorry, man, we don't have anything. And like, I can't even describe it. Maybe Joe, you'll be better at this. But like, when I said no to him, his whole like demeanor and countenance just boom, like the most angry you've ever seen. He was so ticked, and he like stopped, and then he like right as he like run past, he just shoulder checked me really hard, like shoulder checked me, and was just like super ticked. I thought we were gonna get in a fight, to be honest. It was crazy. It
Yeah,
was a
I
good
was
start
I
to
was
the
a
trip.
little nervous myself. I thought we're pretty close to getting into a bun fight, man.
Like
Was
if he would
he
have had a knife, that would have been made me nervous. But
was he Asian?
no, actually. Was he, Joe? I don't remember.
Uh,
It might have
I
been
think he
half.
kind of. I think he was. Yeah, like half.
Yeah.
He might have busted out some martial arts on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that was the big thing that happened before you guys came. But then there's one other thing that was of note that maybe people don't care about, but I thought was funny. So the next day we decided to go to the beach, and we Ubered to the beach, and our Uber shows up, and this lady, like, I don't know, she was so old. Like, I felt like she was like 80, but that might be too old. She was so old though. And we get in the car, and the car just smells like weed. So right off the bat, I'm like, okay, this is making me a little nervous. Some old lady that's smoking weed. And then right when we get in her like little door handles, she had a bunch of like candy, and she just like tried to get us to eat her hard candies. We were just like, oh my gosh, this is like exactly what you'd expect an old person to do, is to try and give you hard candies to suck on. This is one of those situations. So those are
So,
those are the main things.
did you did you suck on it?
No, dude, there's like dust on it. There's like dust and stuff on it. Like they've been
Were
there for
they?
years.
Oh, I was gonna ask if they were like actual candy or were they like CBD or something like that.
No, yeah, it was like Werther's. It's just exactly what you'd expect. Think of what you'd
Yeah.
expect. That's what it was. Butterscotch, little butterscotch things. Yeah. Anyways,
Nice.
Yeah, she went kind of grandma mode on us. She was like trying to make sure we were gonna be safe and wear
oh yeah,
sunscreen and stuff.
yeah. She's like
Kind of
really nervous about
adorable.
us. But that was about it.
So you guys went to the beach and rented bikes and cruised around, right?
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Nice. And then you guys were gonna stay up late for us because we were arriving that night.
Yeah. I'm like a night owl, so I was like, oh, you guys said you're gonna be in like 2. I'm like, I can stay up till 2. It's fine.
Because our flight was leaving Salt Lake at what, 10:45?
Yeah, like 10:30, 10:45, something like that.
Yeah. So let's have the girls tell us what happened with that.
Well, I feel like
Oh,
part of the key is like you and Jamie were sitting together, and I was sitting almost at the very back of the plane. So I get off the plane, and it's just Tim, and he's like, "Oh, Jamie went ahead to go get the rental car." Awesome. So then we're trying to figure out our way down, and then we get down and realize that there's a shuttle, and Jamie is still standing at the shuttle stop. And I feel like that was just how the rest of the night went. Like nothing went our way. It was just the indicator of how it was going to
So-
be for the rest.
So that was close to midnight, right?
Yeah, because
California
our
time.
flight landed at like 11:45 p.m.
Yeah,
So
we're thinking, oh, Jamie will go get the car while Jenny gets out, and then we'll just be on our way. We get out there. There's no rental car place. We have to take a shuttle. Jamie's standing at the shuttle. All these other shuttles are driving past us that are not for budget. And finally, we see the budget bus, 4 lanes across, not
Yeah,
coming
as
to the
far as
stop.
across as you can be.
We're standing at the spot, and it's just way on the other side. So we're like waving at the driver, and she turns a 90-degree angle and starts cutting off all the traffic to make her way over to us. And so I'm like, oh, let's just go jump in. So she doesn't have to drive across all the lanes of traffic. She's blocking all the traffic anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to walk in front of the cars. So we start going across. She starts honking at us and waving us off like she's super ticked.
Mhm.
Drives over. We get on with another couple that was way too happy.
yeah,
It's because they weren't on budget. Remember, they were on a different one, but their shuttle hadn't come yet either. I think they were
Yeah.
just happy to get on a shuttle.
They were on Avis.
yeah, and she's like, I can take you within a block. And so we get on and we're like, oh, it's just the 5 of us. Tim lays down on the back of the shuttle.
Well, the funny thing too is we were blocked for like 10 minutes. We didn't move.
Yeah.
And then finally we got out, and she did a 90 degrees and went back across the
Across
4
all
lanes
the
of traffic
lanes.
to the other side, went about a half a block, and then went back again to the next pickup. It was
From
blowing
Terminal
my mind.
2 to Terminal 3.
Yeah, it took like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, one of you keep going. I'm gonna find some pictures.
Okay. And then like at Terminal 3, like 40 people get on the bus and we're like, oh shoot, like everyone's going to budget. And yeah, and then it's like we stop at like more and more terminals and like more people just getting on. It's like standing room only on this bus. And Tim, we can see your email, just FYI.
Still?
Yes,
Yep.
payment processed.
Oh, cool. Okay, keep talking.
And yeah, anyway, we like, so I think like we're on this bus forever, just like crawling because there's so much traffic in the terminal trying to get to the rental car place that I think was like, was it a mile away? I think that's what it was. It was only a mile away because when we had looked it up, it said it would be a 28-minute walk because we were debating not waiting for the shuttle. But then when we're like, oh, that's a long walk, we'll just wait for the shuttle. But I think it would have been faster to walk there than stay on the shuttle. Can't wait till we get to this part of the story. Yes. Okay.
Well,
So
we
here's
had
the
also,
shuttle.
yeah. And so we had also looked it up on Google Maps how far it would actually take to drive with no traffic. And do you remember it was like 7 minutes or something?
Yes, 7
We
minutes.
were on this stupid shuttle for like 45 minutes. Like it was insane. And then
So
when
we-
we're on the shuttle, we're making this plan of like, hey, Jamie, like wedge your way to the front so when the doors open, you can be the first one off to beat all these people. Oh, we're so naive.
Yeah. Which
Well,
was a
we
great
had the
plan.
we had the whole thing to ourselves for the first 20 minutes until we got to the next stop, and then it looked like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see,
Complete.
Tim couldn't even see me or Jenny anymore.
So we finally get there, and we're like, okay, Jamie, get off the shuttle, quick, get in line. So she gets off as soon as she can. And
This is what we're greeted
Oh
with.
my gosh.
It was this huge line outside of budget. And it's like, it's not moving. It's not like it's like a continual moving line. Like we are like at a standstill.
Yeah. So we start
Now-
taking like
now it's 12:55, I think.
yeah, or like 12:30, yeah, maybe 12:45. It's been like an hour since we've landed or something at this point.
Because
Because I think this is what,
I remember predicting it would take us 2 hours from this point.
yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, we'll for sure have our car by 2 a.m. That's what I said. I was like, no, there's 4 people working inside. And I was trying to count how many people were in line. Well, not like how many people, but like, oh, these people are together. So there's probably like this many cars that need to be rented ahead of us. So I was like, we'll for sure have our car by 2. Because you could see the workers through the window, like inside. So
So about an
I
hour
was still
later,
optimistic.
we get through this line, right?
Yeah.
And then we go
Yeah.
inside and find out there's a line inside.
We didn't know about.
No, it was so disheartening.
That's when the defeat started to sink in around 2 a.m. Also,
Yeah.
wait, do you have a picture? Yes. Morale was
This-
low for everyone, not just us.
Yeah.
There's zombies everywhere.
Well, and like, okay, well, we should say when we started, there were 4 employees working. There was like blue shirt, white shirt, woman, and the older guy at this end.
Yeah.
And then we must have gotten inside a little bit before 2 a.m. because at 2 a.m., 3 employees go home and we're down to blue shirt man. And that's when we
Yeah.
started considering taking an Uber.
Yeah.
So
But
at
we
this
decided
point,
to
we're
wait
like,
it out.
at this point, we're like, Ben, don't wait up for us. Just go to bed, man.
Yeah, we don't even have the car yet.
So we got the car around 3 a.m., right?
3:30.
And then it was like a 45-minute drive to the hotel.
Yeah.
The Airbnb, yeah.
Or yeah, the
But the
Airbnb.
thing
So
with the thing with the car was we get there and Jamie asks the guy, like, okay, this is like a hybrid, not electric, right? And the guy's like, yeah, it's not electric. And then we get out to the car and it's electric and it's charged to 35,
35.
33 something percent. Oh, but we're so exhausted at this point, we don't go back in because who wants to deal with all this? We just decide to like power through and get to the house.
Yeah, so we get there at like 4:15, go to bed, and we wake up. We have to leave at 6:30. So we get like 2 hours of sleep.
A
Ben
nap.
and Joe didn't get that much sleep either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was more than you
Moving up.
guys, but we were all kind of sleep deprived the next day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're going
Which only
off.
made it the better the next day.
So we're going on less than 2 hours of sleep. We wake up at a little after 6, get on the road, because the main reason why we went to Catalina or LA, whatever, was to go scuba diving in the kelp forest in Catalina Island. And Jamie and Jenny got certified with Ben and me 7 years ago in the crater in Midway.
6 years ago.
Are you sure? It's 2017,
Yeah.
right?
It says it on my card. Yeah, that's 6 years ago. It's
Oh,
2023.
okay. Okay. Anyway, 6.5. How about that?
I like it.
This is in March. So we're trying to get Jamie and Jenny to actually scuba dive in the ocean, not just a crater. And Joe got certified a couple years ago. So for Jamie and Jenny's first excursion, we're telling them how great it's going to be and how safe it is and how we're going to have every dive we've ever been on. We have 2 guides with us and they hook up your tank and they take care of all your equipment. They do everything for you. There's a guide in the front showing you where to go. There's a guide behind you, following you, making sure you're okay and that you're fine, you have enough air and that you can equalize and all this stuff. And we show up and soon find out we're on our own. After 30 minutes of trying to put on super thick wetsuits.
So, for context, Like, how many dives have we been on, Tim, together? We've been on like a lot, like over 20.
Yeah.
And never once did they not give us a guide, and did they not like kind of baby you a little bit almost, just because like when you go with a big company, that's generally what they have done, at least for us. And so it was
Yeah.
kind of a shocker when all of a sudden we're like, oh, we don't have a guide.
Yeah. So we get all of our rental gear and we get on, and this bigger lady shows up who's kind of tan and wearing a tank top that's kind of not covering as much as I would have expected. Shows up and starts bossing us around. And then there's a guy who looks like the Big Lebowski who's on there. And they happen to overhear Ben say, I've never hooked up a tank before. And they're like, what?
I got ripped apart.
And Ben's like, no, I'm just kidding. But
They were like, they were pretty mean. They were like pretty mean.
Yeah.
She's pretty mean. Like,
Especially
kind
because
of
this is like
surprising.
basically your first interaction with her, and she just
Yeah.
yells at you and says,
Yeah.
"Are you even certified?" And you're like, "Yeah, I just haven't done it since certification."
Yeah. It's like the
Like-
easiest thing to do, you know? Like, it's not like it's that hard. I was just making a comment, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
because usually everywhere we go, they do it all for us.
Yeah.
So we kind of like tell her like, oh, well, can you kind of give us a pointer? Or so like Jenny's like, I haven't done it since I got certified. So she kind of walked through Jenny, and I was just like watching very closely so I could remember how to do it.
Yeah. Oh.
And anyway, Isaac was a new worker who was a young guy. Looks like he got off his mission last week. He was a nice kid who got us all of our rental gear. So we asked him like, hey, will you go with us? So he went and asked the lady, who we later found out was named Captain Kaya, and got permission. But I think she was kind of ticked because there was another group that had newer divers, and I think they paid extra to have a guide,
Yeah.
where everyone else just went off on their own. And we're used to they just give you a guide, but I think the setup was you had to pay extra for a guide, and we didn't, but we still asked for one. So I think
Yeah.
that's why
Another
Doesn't
he was
not like
meaner
us.
to us.
another thing to note is none of us had a dive computer. So if you're
Oh, yeah.
familiar with diving, you need to have a computer to tell you like to make sure you're safe, you know, because you have to take like safety stops, and none of us had one because whenever we go, the instructor always has one, and we just kind of follow their lead. They stop us. So that was another thing was like a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, like we were comfortable to go dive, but we're like, we don't know how far down we're gonna be. We don't know if we have to do a safety stop. So yeah, it felt a little sketchy to just go by ourselves without our dive computer. So anyway, we asked him. He's nice. He went with us, and I think it was helpful. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was so
He was a gem. Like too great of a gem to be working on that boat.
seriously. Oh man.
I feel like we're skipping a few things here in the middle. But by the
Okay,
time we got our
wonderful.
stuff on, got to the spot, and got in the water, we got yelled at, each of us 2 or 3 times by Captain Kaya. He was just ripping us apart.
And not just
For
us, she's yelling
everything.
at everyone on that boat.
Yeah, she's the angry person.
But us more than the other people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty
definitely
obvious we
more.
didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah. Which in
Yeah.
hindsight, with the whole guide thing makes sense. But at the time, I was like, this woman is so mean. How is she running a business and getting customers when she just yells at everyone? So it's like we got into the water, and then she's like, don't go, don't go. Like she's yelling at us to come closer to the boat so that they can check our buoyancy.
He
Anyway,
yelled
it
at
was
Ben for putting his hand on the ladder step. She said that she almost made him he almost made her fall and
Oh, I
Get into
forgot about that.
Yeah. I was like, are you serious? Like, where else am I supposed to put my hand in the boat?
She was looking for reasons to yell at you, Ben.
I know. But I will say this about Captain Kaya. At the beginning, when she yelled at me the first time, and the first maybe 3 or 4 times, I was a little annoyed. I thought she was kind of mean. I didn't really like her very much. But about the 5th, 6th time, I started to kind of like her. I was like, I kind of like getting yelled at. This is like,
Yeah,
it's
it
like a
grows
badge of
on you.
honor. Yeah. By the end, I thought she's amazing. I'd hire her anytime.
I think her love language is being bossy and snapping at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why the Big Lebowski likes her so much.
Whatever,
Wait,
they're
I
divorced
should.
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I got on the boat said something between the Big Lebowski and Kaya. Is that what we're calling him? Because his real name's Jim. Between Jim and Kaya, and I was like, "There's something going on here." They're both probably in their 50s. Would you say 40s, 50s? I don't know. They look like they've had hard lives, so it's kind of hard to tell.
He looks older than he really is because he vapes every 40 seconds.
Vape
Oh
slash
my
smokes,
Seriously.
whatever's convenient. Yeah, but then we found out later on, like at the end, that they had been married, but they're now divorced, but they work together. So there is something there.
You could see some tension
Vibe with
for
you.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's definitely the boss.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like the bottom of the totem pole of all the workers. All right, should we
Yeah,
watch
he
some?
also didn't seem to know what he was doing.
Yeah, I think that was like one of his first times working on the boat.
Hmm.
Should we watch some footage of the diving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, you haven't seen any of this stuff, have you?
He has. I sent him all the stuff.
Oh, he has.
Mhm.
So what are you guys seeing now? Can you see my footage?
Yep.
Well, I see you like,
Collecting stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
We need to show a picture of Captain Kaya so you can.
Oh yeah. I think
There's the
Oh,
Big
I got a
Lebowski.
I got a picture of him.
Yeah,
Let's
it's the next
just
one, right?
just zoom in on him.
I'm shocked there's no cigarette in his hand.
It might be up above the boat.
Tim, I'm so glad you grabbed my phone and took a picture of these guys.
Yeah. So there's the Big
What?
Lebowski. Here's Captain Kaya when the boat broke down and she started yelling at everyone to get the heck out of her way.
Yeah, that's when I realized it wasn't personal that she had yelled at us because she was yelling at everyone. I also just love that the boat
screams
broke
at people
down.
and they scream. She screams at everyone. They just scatter.
Another thing to note, because we didn't have a dive computer, me and Joe were like, our schedule's really tight on our flight home. So you just have 18 hours. And like if we ended at 4, right at 4, it would have been 18 hours. And then the boat broke down. And so we were cutting it like it was cutting into like time where we should have been above water, but because we didn't have a dive computer, we didn't know. Made me a little nervous when this broke down.
Oh, because it broke down between our second and third dive, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think we
Okay.
ended
So you
up having
had
like
no
17
negative,
hours.
but you guys turned out okay, right?
Yep, no bends.
All right, let me try to find. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me try to go to the beginning. Chronological order. So we went to see the kelp forest, and they were pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. A little
Yeah, and there were
choppy.
these awesome orange fish.
Ben, you should tell us how much you love the kelp forest.
honestly is like one of the highlights of my life. I'm not gonna lie. Like there was one point, so like you can't see in this video. Okay, right there is good. You get like see all those vines and things. You can get like snagged in that. And there was one point where that was that me. That might have been me. I was like
That was
going
you.
through it, and I lost the group, and I was deep in the forest, and it was like I got snagged up, and I couldn't swim because it was like wrapped around my tank and stuff. I got snagged. I couldn't find anyone. It felt like a long time. I'm sure it wasn't very long, but it's kind of scary. It's kind of fun. It's like tangled in some forest where I don't know where anyone's at. Like everyone's gone right now. It was awesome.
I love that
I
you
love
say that's awesome
I know.
because that terrified me that I wanted to bail.
I got some crappy fin in my rental gear, and every single dive it fell off. So I'd have to swim down through the forest and find my flipper on the bottom of the ocean and try to strap it on while I'm getting tangled in the kelp and then go
That's so
find everyone.
funny.
Tell about how Jim yelled at you about your fins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I was well, first of all, usually when you go, they like your tank and your gear is so heavy, it's hard to like stand up from your spot on the boat. So usually they like go like grab you, they help you put your vest on, they help you get everything strapped on, all your stuff, and then they help you stand up, and they like walk you to the edge and help you get off. But here is just free for all. So every dive I've ever done, I put my fins on right there. So I get my fins on, and then Jamie needs help, so I like slide over with my fins to the other side of the boat to help her up. And Kaya comes over and yells at me for having my fins on and tells me I shouldn't put my fins on until I get to the back of the boat. So I go to the back of the boat, and Big Lebowski's like, "Your fins are too big." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, you need to get them tightened." I'm like, "Okay, so can we tighten them?" He's like, "No, because you got the wrong part. That's not the original part that came with it." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You gotta get the original part." I'm like, "I rented this from you guys. You guys gave me this." He's like, "Oh." All right, let's look at some more footage.
Um, Speaking about fins, one of the dives when I was getting back into the boat, like my fins were pretty tight, and I needed two hands to pull them off. I couldn't do it with just one hand, and so I like had to let go of the railing to get into the boat, and that was one of the times I got yelled at for like not
Yeah,
holding
that was
on.
a
I'm like,
horrible
I can't
thing.
get my fin off in the water. Like if you want me to take my fin off in the water, and like I need to use both hands.
Did you guys see that free diver in this video? She just cruised past.
Yeah.
Oh, she did. Yeah, what was her name? She was so nice.
Nikki
Nikki.
Nikki.
got it
I'm so
right.
proud of you for remembering that. Yeah.
Apparently, when I'm sleep deprived, I can't remember people's names.
Yes, that is definitely something we learned.
There's Joe, the caboose.
Yeah.
Here's where we had a lot of fish.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, this was like my favorite part. I'm over there with the yellowfins just swimming off, following the fish.
One thing that was nice about the kelp is it's actually pretty easy to break. So if you got stuck in it, it's pretty easy to just snap stuff.
Yeah.
Is that how
This
you
is so
eventually got
cool.
untangled, Ben?
Yeah.
She just
I just
snapped it?
Yep.
Some other people in our group saw a giant, like 6-foot sea bass. It's too bad we didn't see one of those. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of giant, me and Joe saw a giant 6 foot lobster, dude. The thing was huge. I'm telling you, it was the world's biggest lobster. It was so big.
Wait, I don't think I heard about this. It was 6 feet?
This was on the third
No.
dive, right?
Yeah, it was on the third dive. It wasn't 6 feet. It was huge though. It was just I've never
Okay.
seen one that big.
Here's where we got in thick.
Yeah, that seriously looks like Harry Potter.
This is when Jamie was supposed to be following us, but she wasn't.
It's because I didn't want to go through the kelp forest because I'm claustrophobic, and then I tried to find you because I couldn't, because I got lost, and then I panicked, and I'm going like this. So you have the video somewhere. Tim thought I wanted him to film me, but I was also I was actually just trying to say I'm panicking and I'm gonna go to the top.
Yeah, that's coming up. There's Ben having the time of his life.
And there's Isaac with the American flag bandana.
I'm probably like
also
10 feet above all of you.
There's another thing I forgot. I'm trying to think what they. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but on my first dive, my regulator was broken, so they had me use the alternate, which is kind of crazy because then I didn't have an alternate because the other one was leaking. I think they like closed it off. I can't remember exactly what they did, but oh no, that's not true.
I just remember Kaya yelling at you and Isaac when you're in the water.
Yeah, and I was like, it's leaking. What happened was the alternate was leaking, and so they had me just breathing out of the leaking regulator, not the normal one.
Mm.
So I just had air shooting into my mouth the whole dive. That's why I ran out of air so fast.
Honestly, all of their equipment was pretty bad. Like
Yeah.
my tube that went to my ECD just had a hole in it, just leaking air, and they're like,
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, nice.
yeah.
My
I don't think
equipment
I-
didn't have any issues, which is good because I couldn't have handled that.
This video
Is that
kind of
Jamie
shows how
Pemberton?
how tall the kelp is.
Yeah.
They're so tall.
No, I'm up above somewhere.
Okay. Hey girl, at
Yeah,
least
there's
you made it
me.
down. I didn't even make it down. I panicked way before that.
Yeah, Jenny said, I realized I don't like to be underwater.
Well, I thought it was maybe just in the crater, but it turns out it's not.
I think at the end of this one, we start looking around trying to find Jamie.
The kelp forests, I did not love them as much as Ben did. I'll just say that. Getting tangled wasn't a thrill for me.
One of Ben's best qualities is his enthusiasm for things. So.
For sketchy things.
Yes.
Also, can we talk about how good the food on the boat was? That was surprising.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is something Captain Kaya did very well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the
And
only
I will
reason they got
never-
good reviews.
Also, I will
Yeah,
never
no.
forget the proper placement of the crock pot lid because
Crockpot etiquette. She said that so many times. Crockpot etiquette.
because I think I was the first person to misplace the crock pot lid. I mean, misplace, not place it incorrectly according to Kaya, and I got yelled at. I think you guys were still diving at that point when I did that, so took one for the team there.
I just like that she made a buttload of quesadillas and she called them cheesy tortillas.
Yeah. Like she'd never heard the word quesadilla before or something.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go make some more cheesy tortillas. Like, what? I think this is the one where Jamie's telling me she wants to go up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, this is it.
It's like, oh, here's Jamie. He's like, up.
And then I'm gone.
Forget
soon as
the
you have
safety
someone to
stop. Get to that surface.
I think we're only like 20 feet down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're going back to the boat.
Oh, this is my favorite when I turn around to find you and then I start going again and then I turn around like 1 second later to make sure you're still there.
This is our third dive.
The third dive is not very good.
There's Joe trying to catch a fish.
Joe, don't touch the wildlife.
I knew I couldn't get him.
There's Ben saying everything's okay. It's funny because it's hard to communicate down there. Oh, did you guys see that? There was a little shark thing. This one's past.
Oh yeah.
I'll do it one more time. Like right in the middle. I don't know what those were. They're like little tiny spotted sharks. There's one in here too. Right here.
Hmm.
I think I got a lobster. This should have been you guys' first dive.
Yeah, it would have been so much better.
The other thing too is all the other dives we've been on have been in tropical islands where it's like super warm. The water's
Yeah,
warm.
very cold.
And this place is freezing. We had to put on our hoods and really thick, like full wetsuits and booties and all that. Like half the dives we've gone on, we don't even wear wetsuits. You just jump in with your swimsuit because it's so warm.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been that cold. Like when I came out of the water on the second dive, I was like, I'll never be warm again.
I think this one might have a lobster. I can't remember. Oh yeah, there's a lobster in there. All right. And then here's everyone after a full day of diving on the ocean and 2 hours of sleep. You guys are just passed out.
I was actually awake, but I might as well have been asleep.
I was asleep, or I was trying to.
And then you all kind of woke up.
Well, because that's Manchester Camera's equipment. His little scooter almost went over the edge there.
Yeah.
And Aquaman is super happy over here with his beverage.
Bevy.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
then we go to the trying to charge our electric car.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got the car with 35%. We had to return it with 35%. But by the time we got to the dive shop and then to dinner, we were pretty low.
Like 10% or something.
We had to figure out how to charge it.
So the problem, I think, well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you guys, but because you guys haven't dealt with electric cars very much.
Sorry.
Wait, Tim, you're jumping ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to show you the Big Lebowski's brother who spoke in church the next day.
Nice.
Okay, keep going, Ben.
Oh, so because there's like a lot of charging places, but a lot of them will give you like 3 kilowatts per hour or 5, and it felt like, so we were trying to find a spot that's got, because we needed to be faster than that because we didn't want to wait around, because at that speed we would have to wait for like 10 hours or something to have enough charge. So I don't know where I was going with this, but we were just trying to find a fast charger, and that was just a pain. But
And
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
We're trying to find a place to eat before they're all closed too. At the same
Yeah.
time.
Basically, we were trying to get dumplings and charge our car, and we were trying to decide what was the priority.
The one thing I wasn't sure if you guys understood, like, that this flow charger is going to take us like 10 hours. Like it would have it would have taken forever. And so we needed to find a faster one, but it all
And
worked out, man.
we're worried that we're going to run out of battery searching for another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we finally did, and then it took us at least 10 minutes and about 7 tries with credit cards and Apple Pay to actually get it to start to charge.
How many? Like, I tried with 2 cards on Apple Pay and 2 actual cards. And then, like, we probably, tried like 10 different payment methods before. Who actually got theirs to work? Tim, you did, right?
Yeah, my Apple Pay worked.
I tried 2
Yeah.
different ones.
So here's the ad. Here's the photo we're going to submit for an ad for being a tree hugger and loving the environment. We got the electric car. And we got Ben smiling in a tree.
I mean, you
Yeah.
really blend so well.
I don't have
Yeah.
the picture. I don't have the picture of Joe whose hair blends in with the bushes.
I just
So
love that I think we charged the car for like 35 minutes. We placed an order for dumplings from Din Tai Fung that we could pick up in 30 minutes. You guys climbed a tree, and Jenny and I like fell asleep in the car because we were like
Yeah.
dead.
I'm laying out on the back seat of that car taking a nap.
let's see what Ben had to say about the tree.
Nervous.
I don't know
Is
if
there
you're sharing
audio?
audio.
You can't hear the audio?
No.
Oh. Well, we're just
Did you
laughing.
share
and
audio
giggling.
when you shared your screen?
I don't know. Oh,
Bottom
well.
left corner, there's a little checkbox.
Oh well, who cares?
I'm using this for work. But then we got our dumplings and ate them in the car.
How fast did we eat our dumplings?
I mean, 5 minutes. It was so
It was
fast.
so fast.
And they
Dumplings
were
and
so good.
buns. Yeah.
Yes, it was fun.
Wait, and
Oh.
then the highlight.
We need to
we
need to
weren't
hash
quite
one
sure.
thing out.
We weren't quite
What?
sure if we were totally full yet or not.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need to hash how you girls want a girlfriend mode on me and Tim.
No, you were so hungry.
I haven't traveled enough with Ben, and he said something like, "Oh, I could eat more if you guys wanted to." That was code to me that like I'm trying to be nice because I know you guys are tired, but I'm still hungry. So I was like, "We're going to McDonald's."
Jamie
And
made
then-
Jamie made the executive decision that we're going to McDonald's, and on the way there, she said, "I want to see if their ice cream machine works."
I didn't actually want ice cream. I just wanted to see if it was working.
So we pull up thinking Jamie and Jenny are hungry, and they just sit there, and we're just sitting at the drive-thru, and they're asking us our order. So
We're like,
so Joe and Ben and I start ordering crap.
I ordered
And-
1 large fry, and then what happens, girls?
They're
I'm like,
"We
I don't know if that's gonna be big enough.
They're like, "We don't want to order anything. We just want to eat some of
we could
yours."
share with you.
We'll
That
just
doesn't seem
share.
crazy. Well, you especially were saying you weren't hungry, so a large fry to
Sure.
share seems reasonable.
It does, yeah. Fair.
So
I
we
wasn't
don't want to
hungry,
order anything. We just want to eat some of yours.
So
You want some
order
ice
the
cream?
Happy Meal.
No, I don't want any ice cream.
Wait, so Joe ordered a Happy Meal, Ben ordered a large fry, then Tim orders a hot fudge sundae and a McFlurry? Or
Yeah,
what else did you get?
yeah.
And
Oreo
water.
And also
McFlurry.
got-
Oh,
And
and
a
a
large-
water because he
And a
had
large water. You talk about
And then
Joe being the only person I've ever met in my whole entire life that ordered milk from a restaurant.
Dude, it was
That's
actually so
true.
good, man.
They probably
It hits
sugar
the
it up.
spot.
It was probably fitting. It was pretty fitting coming along with a Happy Meal.
Yeah. It made me happy,
Um,
man.
Did you get a toy or something?
um,
Yeah, Pokemon cards.
Oh,
And then
nice.
the whole entire time, Joe kept telling us we had to go back to the Airbnb and eat some bean ice cream.
Which we did. And I actually thought it was, I mean, probably because you set the bar so low. I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. Wait, but do you know what the highlight of the Little Saigon Asian Market Hall was? The kiwi gummy candies that you guys conveniently left on the counter with a bunch of other crap that you bought. That when we were checking out on Sunday, we chucked most of it. But I had luckily tried the kiwi gummies the night before, so I saved them and we ate them all throughout the day on Sunday. We're
Really?
quite
They're
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I forgot that I left all that stuff. Whoops.
Yeah,
But-
just like you left
Yeah,
your
you
AirPods.
made us clean up. Oh, yeah. And they
Wait,
were like tangled in your bed.
Snuggled in your bed.
when you said I left my headphones, I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to find two loose AirPods in your bed.
Yeah, there you go. Did you know that when I got home, the first thing I did, because I listen to a lot of music and I use my headphones every day. First thing I did is order some new ones. And then
Oh.
Tim showed up the next day and brought me the ones that you guys had found, but I didn't know you guys had went back and got them. And luckily, my order got delayed, and so Amazon let me cancel the order. So I canceled it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, us going back to get your headphones was nice because I could take a nap at the Airbnb.
Nice.
So it worked out good for both of us.
Yeah,
Because the cleaner went to church, so she wasn't coming to clean till 2.
nice.
Yeah.
And we got the rental car back with 32%.
Two?
I think
Better.
32%.
Almost right where we got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. What a good trip, you know?
Yeah.
It was very memorable.
It was fast. Even though we talked forever, it happened like really fast.
Yeah. We just talked like a tenth of the trip. We just rehashed.
Yeah. A lot happened in a few days.
Yeah.
And because of this trip, we're all going to learn how to make soup dumps.
Oh yeah, Tim, I was so excited to get that text. We really do need to do that.
Do you want me to tell you how to do it?
Sure.
So I didn't do it. Someone just explained to me how to do it. Some of the went on their mission to Taiwan. You cook soup broth like with like the kind you do with like bones and stuff that gets really thick and then it gels. And then you cut up the gel into little cubes and you put it inside when you wrap it. And so when you cook it, it just melts inside and then it's got soup inside of it.
I don't know that I would want to make that and then eat it. That sounds gross, honestly. But it tasted amazing.
It's so good.
Yep.
Well,
Wait. Well, anyone have anything else? Did we miss anything of
I think we got it pretty good.
anything funny?
oh, I feel like it is important to say that on the boat, Tim kept telling us he had some information about Captain Kaya and the Big Lebowski. And so we're just like waiting to hear what he has to say. And then like as we're about to get off the boat, like I go and grab my bag and I overhear the Big Lebowski talking to Christy and Jory about his relationship with Kaya. And we learned the truth that they were married, they are divorced. They'd known each other since high school.
That is if
But
he was telling the truth.
That's true.
He could have made that up.
But the made up story that Tim had was really quite accurate. I mean, very close to, very tangentially close. So.
I don't think you'd make up hooking up with Kaya, man. You gotta have some confidence, you know?
That's fair.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
She's
Well,
so mean.
so mean and so awesome, man.
Yeah.
After a
Well,
while,
and
it,
you
just feels,
guys-
it feels good to get verbally abused by a
It kind of does. It felt kind of
woman
refreshing.
in a position of power. There's something about it.
I never felt that way.
no. But I can yell at you on our next trip if it would make you feel better.
Remember when you said what's the worst part and the best part of the trip, and it was both getting yelled at by Captain Kaya.
100%.
Nice.
All
All
right.
right, guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah, have a great time on your trip tomorrow. You guys are leaving. So
Thank you.
hope it goes well.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
And we'll see you in Israel. Joe, we'll see you back in Utah.
Oh, good.
All right.
Hey, bye guys.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah.